Sean.
Okay.
I cast off that way.
Got the bubble going on too.
Another pretty trout.
All right.
He's fat. Look at how fat that fish is. Do you have a de-hooking device?
Yeah, I'm getting it out. I'm getting it out of my tackle box.
It's right. George is right behind you on that big bull.
Yeah, I don't like to touch them.
No, I don't want to touch him either.
Yeah.
Just bring them up. And
What we were explaining earlier is if you don't have a de-hooker, you should get one for your boat. That way you don't have to touch it. The trout is like the weakest, easiest to kill. If you have to touch it, wet your hands, don't use a towel.
don't squeeze it tight.
Right, but you should really just get a de-hooker like this, and you can slide it right down to the hook, pull down on the line, and usually you give it a little shake, and that's it. So now we haven't touched that fish at all, so the slime coat is still intact.
Slime coat, and you know, one of the things that everybody squeezes them so tight because they're slippery.
Organs.
They bruise the flesh, they hurt the organs, so I love the fact that you just use a de-hooking device and you don't have to worry about
I've caught trout where you can see people's finger marks.
Oh, yeah.
fingerprints,
Red
yes.
marks.
Yeah.
This de-hooker here is a leaf fisher. It's actually designed for a sabiki rig, so you can hold your sabiki and release all the bait fish. But I like it small, compact for trout and stuff like that, smaller fish. It's just quick and easy. I can have it in my pocket, pull it out, de-hook them, don't touch the fish.
It was a trout. It kept chasing my bait, didn't take it. He finally took it. There we go. I just love the way they fight.
There you go, sir.
Yeah. There we go. There we go. Go say hello to somebody else. Got it. Go, George. All right. That was another speckled trout. It's funny. He was on top of, he was chasing my bait, but didn't want to take it. He was like playing with the bait. You ever had that happen, Lisa?
Oh my goodness.
I mean, he was just playing with it. I thought it was a puffer, but I could see the bait come up and flip, and it was a trout. He was just kind of like not really hungry, playing around with the bait, but he finally took it.
Yeah, that is a nice trout.
That's a nice little trout. Look at here. Oh yeah, that's a nice one. That's the other thing in Louisiana, 12 inches.
Oh, I know.
And then 25. I said, guys, why so many trout? Well, people just like to eat a lot of trout. I said, yeah, but I said, you know, even if you're a local, come on, and you're going out once a week or twice a week, you don't need 25 trout every time you go out.
No.
And the problem is, see that even these resorts.
Nice trout.
That's a nice one.
Real nice trout. Mine stole my bait.
Oh yeah, look at that. That's a nice trout.
That is a real good trout. Oh, whoa.
You almost got away.
Good catch, man.
Oh yeah, this is a nice one, George.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's a good size. He's got a little bit of weight to it too.
He's respectable.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he's a nice one.
Especially with the lack of trout we've had lately around here.
right.
See?
You want to try here?
Yeah, he must have spotted fish or caught a fish over here. That's why he ran back. But
We're gonna try this one little cut right here.
yeah, this is good. We'll try it.
Let's see here. Oh man.
Good job.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
He was hungry.
Oh, God, I mean, he hit it instant. Yeah. Oh yeah. There he is.
Oh.
No, 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 no. Don't let him get in the trees.
He's going for the tree.
Get out.
Oh, oh, oh.
There you go. He swam out a little bit for you.
Yeah.
Good boy.
Woo!
Good boy.
There he goes. He's coming out. I can see him. Oh yeah, he's a decent fish too. Oh yeah.
Nice fish.
Oh, man.
Oh, my goodness.
That's a nice one.
Where's your net, sir?
It's right
On
this
the
side.
left.
On this side, right here. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Nice fish. Well, I mean, as soon as that bait hit the water,
Yep.
that's the one I think that was popping the bait. That's what it was.
Oh, definitely.
Oh! He cut me off.
And that's the problem with big ones. They know how to get off.
Oh man. Somebody, he's still there. Jeez. Yep.
Yeah, and you got the oyster grass mound
Right
that comes
there.
out. Yeah.
Maybe there's a
I
red
cannot
fish or
believe
two.
how slick, calm it is.
Oh, we're lucky today. Because I tell you, we've had
It's been
such
brutal,
bad
isn't it?
weather. It just doesn't make it fun. When you got to
No.
go out and the wind's blowing,
Golly.
you're hungry.
See, Ted?
Here we go.
All right, we had to work for this guy. The Schnooker. He's not a monster, but
But that's all right.
we'll take it. Bent pole's better than not. Oh, now he's swimming towards the boat for me.
All right.
Hey, buddy.
I'll get the net. There we go. We don't hurt him.
There you go. Let my hands hit.
There we go. Nice little fish.
A lot of times if you turn them upside down, it throws off their equilibrium and they'll kind of lay dormant. There we go. Oop, 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 oop. Don't you do it. Little Schnooker. Ah.
Okay, Lisa,
Yes,
get me
sir.
a redfish out of here.
I'm trying, I'm trying.
There he goes.
Finally got one snook.
All right, I'm throwing the saltwater assassin jig head with a shrimp cocktail in the molten color. And we're not gonna touch this guy, but nice little trout to start off, first cast. There we go. Oh, so we moved off the flats today. A current wasn't moving that good, and the tide really never came up as high as we were expecting it to. So some of the areas we fished, the fish just weren't there. So
Oh, you missed it.
we had a few.
Oh,
We had a
you
nice
missed him again.
snook on it, broke off. We caught a snook, some trout. Now we've moved out to some deeper water. We're fishing
I
like
get some pretty nice trout out of
6
here.
to 8 feet of water, good shell and grass bottom, and it holds a variety because we're out in the bay, so you can catch anything from trout, cobia, tarpon even. We're throwing live bait and jig heads. We're using a 1/4 ounce jig head. I'm using a shrimp cocktail by Bass Assassin, and I believe she's throwing Leiza is throwing
Redhead.
a red head with a jerk bait style bait by Bass Assassin. And then all we're doing is letting it sink to the bottom, and then you're giving it just a couple twitches upward, letting it sink to the bottom, a couple twitches
Got
upward.
another hit.
And most of the time you'll get the hit on the sink. And that lure's sinking, you'll get the hit, you see your line jump, set the hook and start reeling.
I think they're liking that color better.
Yeah,
Do we have anything in
yeah,
this
we did.
color?
Yep.
We did.
Tell you
It's
what.
the molten color.
Watch, I'm gonna open this up.
I don't want to fall
Don't go in again.
No, sir.
Yeah, they like this Bass Assassin, I'll tell you that.
Oh, that's too big.
Okay, let's see here.
I'm throwing the shrimp one, and what I'm doing is I'm biting the first 3/8 of inch. Showing you as an example.
Got one.
She got one.
Oh, she's on. I'll come
All right,
back
got
to
a
it.
trout. Let me get the de-hooker.
Not a bad little fish. Whoop.
Got
There you
off?
go.
The Palm Beach release.
All right.
Yep, see and release.
Okay, that's fine.
So sometimes when you get a short strike, they'll hit your lure, but they don't get the hook in their mouth. So sometimes they'll pull your lure down off of the jig head like that. This lure is actually about 3/8 of an inch longer. So I've actually cut it shorter to help eliminate the short strike. So it does help making the distance from the end of the tail to the hook shorter so that when you do get these trout bites, they get that hook in their mouth. When did you get involved with fishing? Like who, a person or who got you started? Who
You
kicked it
know,
off?
so I am going to say my grandmother.
Okay.
My grandmother was an avid angler. I fished with her when I was little. My father then also followed up with that.
Okay.
His mother was who started me.
So
then my dad.
okay.
But my mom was a huge sportsman, so my whole family, I grew up in the Florida Keys.
Outdoors.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Outdoors,
Right.
so
Right.
it was just inevitable.
Right.
But I really thought when I was young that I was going to go into marine biology. I loved the Jacques Cousteau era, and I watched his show, and that's what I wanted to be, was a marine biologist.
Right.
But my family really advised me that there was not a lot of money in
Right,
that
right.
as a future, so I went into business.
Okay.
And as the time rolled around, I started fishing. I actually really got into competitively fishing and the sport of fishing in tournaments back in the late 90s.
Okay.
And it was on.
on
So,
after
yeah,
that, right?
it was something that I knew there was a void there for
Right.
women in
Right,
the industry.
definitely.
And I just said, you know, we can do this. Fish don't know who's on the other end of the line.
right.
And it took off from there. And you know, the coolest thing that I think for me was earning the respect of the anglers that I fished with.
Fitting into, at the time, a man's world.
And we never fit in, quite honestly.
No.
We just always were made room for.
Right. But now, things have definitely changed now, because now, quite often, you'll see two girls on a boat going out fishing. You'd never see that 20 years ago.
Oh,
That's
no.
unheard of.
No, and you know the largest growth segment of the fishing industry right now is women.
Because it's really become a real big trend now.
It's a sport
it's accepted.
that they know that they can get into without, you know, the physical constraints of trying to play football against someone or trying to play baseball
You can
or
cast
tennis.
just as good as a
That's
6'2" guy.
Exactly.
You know?
So I think it's amazing to see and to
Yeah.
see all the female captains that are coming about.
So was it your grandmother then that was the first one that actually put a pole in your hand?
You know, I'm thinking it was my grandmother was
About-
the first one.
About how old do you think you were?
I think I was 3.
Okay.
I was 3 or 4 years old.
See, my uncle's the one that got me started. It was about 4 and a half.
Yes.
Because my mother and father didn't do anything, but my uncle came from Cuba. He was 18 years old. He was a crazy nut fisherman.
I'm gonna give you a hug. Go right around you. That's a big trout.
Beautiful trout.
Yeah, that's a big trout right there. Woo, that's a big one. I'm gonna whip my hand for this one. Oh, I thought he got off. Come here.
Come on, Lisa. Give me one, man.
I'm working on it.
Beautiful trout right there. I wet my hand before I grabbed it. Just wanted to give you a little show of this one. Beautiful fish. Probably the prettiest fish in the salt water in the flats.
Oh, so what do you think about us being able to get somebody to start putting a bunch of redfishing back into the bay in this area?
We've been putting redfish back in here. We put 15,000 at Route 90
How long ago was that?
last.
There he goes. Welcome.
Okay, we want to say, thank you to Captain Leiza Fitzgerald. She's the CCA Star Tournament Director, and she spent the day with us, and believe me, this is a busy month for her, but she did get to spend some time with us, taught us a lot about CCA and about the tournament, and at the same time, we caught some fish together.
Yep, and we appreciate you being on the boat with us today. It really was good, and you know, we had you in the beginning out of your comfort zone using live bait, and then the second half of the trip when the bite slowed down on the flats, we went to a little bit deeper water, got you on using a jig head and some soft plastics, and you did good. You got some nice trout and kept us busy.
That is my comfort zone, like you said. I definitely love artificials, and those trout loved them, and we caught quite a few, and I really want to thank you guys for getting me out on the water, and also for just being so engaged in CCA and what's going on with the Star competition.
To me, CCA is a startup, especially for kids, for a future, because kids is the future of what we are doing. As we get older, we got to have somebody to replace us.
That's exactly
and if it ain't
right.
kids that are growing up and liking fishing, we lost it all.
Yes, we do.
Don't forget, we're going to have that June 10th Kids Clinic at Picnic Island Park, and you can contact Sergio if you need to register your kid.
And hopefully we'll see you there. I know that we'll have CCA there getting people registered, and I hope to make it.
We're going to have a good time. So again, thank you for watching Fishing Adventures Florida.